Warning. The following episode and presentation is rated 4. It contains excessive usage of, with prolonged sequences of, and, with a side of, and, included. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. And please leave a message at the...
Hello to all the dreamers out there. Welcome to another episode of Eugene Reviews. I am Eugene Burnaby. And as you can tell from the... It should be obvious that the movie that we're going to be going over today is none other than the Christopher Nolan directed 2010 film Inception. Now, I will go on the record and say that this film to this day is my favorite film of all time, but since we are reviewing this, I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible, look through all the chinks in its armor, and really kind of give it a flat out review without having to put any biases towards it. For some fans, 1 viewing, 2 viewings, 300 viewings is all it takes for a film to be labeled their favorite film of all time. Now, for me, it only took 1 time because I saw this movie once in theaters and I was just blown away by it. The sights, the sounds, the spectacle, the cast, the story, everything top to bottom just took me away. Sure, the concept of a dream sharing environment is a little bit of a head scratcher, but just the innovation and the direction of it all really was kind of the icing on the cake for such a spectacular film. I could go on a spew about how great this film is, but let's just kind of keep it limited to criticisms and overall key points in this review. With that said, let's go ahead and dream into the world of Inception. Act 1, Development. Inception, take 1. What's equally as great and as trippy as the film itself was the actual production. This was originally pitched in 2001 by Christopher Nolan, just fresh off of his delivery of his critically acclaimed film, Memento. What you see now as a heist film was originally pitched as a horror film, but after deliberations and overlooking the concept, it was finally changed to a heist film. Now, a film of this magnitude, Christopher Nolan himself thought he didn't really have the credibility to uptake this. He felt he wasn't established enough, and he felt that he still needed a couple of more films to get that faith in studios to budget him this movie. And lo and behold, the guy decided, let me just make a couple of Batman films and I'll be good. He made Batman Begins, and then he made the much critically acclaimed and universally acclaimed The Dark Knight. And yeah, he was pretty much set for life after that. And it was then he finally got the credibility he built to make a film called Inception. Now, as the film goes through dreams within dreams, it was actually just a concept of dream sharing to begin with. What if there was a contraption that allowed people to share dreams? And then it got even more in-depth to it. What if we can plant an idea in someone's mind? What if we can steal an idea from somebody's mind? So many different realms, so many different concepts, so many little tidbits that are really interesting to explore, and Nolan thought he could tackle this on. There's a lot of cool things in regards to kind of how this was developed. The 360 fight scene in one of the dream sequences at the hotel. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character Arthur was fighting in a hallway that allowed him to rotate 360 degrees. That entire sequence was inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know the brass that plays throughout the entire film? Well, that was actually a slowed down version of the French song used as the kicker. It's called Non je ne regrette rien. I am so sorry. To all the French-speaking people, I am so sorry. Je ne regrette rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Am I supposed to roll the R's? Non, je ne regrette rien. Or how Joey Tribbiani from Friends would say, bli bli blu blu bli blah. Blé de la blé de blu blah blé. Christopher Nolan also drew inspiration from Argentinian filmmaker Jorge Luis Borges, who directed a film called Ficciones, and also Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. So plenty of interesting tidbits in regards to its development. 10 years of development that went from a horror film to a heist film, the slowed down French song from the movie that became the ultimate iconic brass of the film, inspirations from different films and filmmakers, Nolan feeling he needs to establish himself before he can make Inception, and then of course the concept of dreams and dream sharing. With that being said, let's go on to our next level, which is Act 2. Act 2, Execution, Inception, Take 1. Now, a film of this magnitude, my only fear was actually trying to grasp the concept of it throughout the entire film. I was really scared that I'd be confused or a little bit off when it came to the story and the progress throughout this entire story. Luckily, Christopher Nolan does a great job in providing an explanation all throughout the first act. Who are these characters? What is this concept? What are they trying to do? What is the end goal to this? And then Act 2 was all execution. The dreams within dreams within dreams, the action sequences, the car chases, the big set pieces over the snowy mountaintop region, and then the sequence in Limbo. And then the third act is all the revelation, why they did this, what was the end goal concept, what's the tie-in, what's the twist, all that stuff. This 3-act structure sounds very familiar. But providing those well-structured acts were great. And what was even greater was the masterful ensemble of a cast that Nolan was able to provide. Of course, leading at the helm was none other than Academy Award nominated actor at the time, Leonardo DiCaprio. And what cast followed him was just as great as him alone. Academy Award nominated actress Ellen Page, Academy Award nominated actor Michael Caine, up-and-coming actor Tom Hardy, emerging actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt, familiar actor in Christopher Nolan films Cillian Murphy, who you've seen from the Dark Knight trilogy, veteran actor Tom Berenger, fresh off her Academy Award-winning role in La Vie en Rose, Marion Cotillard, and finally Academy Award-nominated veteran actor Ken Watanabe. So right there, you've got an all-star cast that can compete with anyone. Individually, they were good. Chemistry-wise, they were great. I think that they all benefited from each other throughout the entire film, and it was really nice to see them complement one another. I like how each sequence of dreaming kind of reflects on the other level of dreaming in regards to waking up one another. For instance, the beginning scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is dunked in that tub of water, and in his dream, he's just surrounded by this tidal wave of water. These interesting, intricate ways of waking up, like an elevator shaft falling, like you falling from the top of a building, like a building collapsing on top of you. All those little kicks to get you to wake up from your dream. Now, it could have expanded a little bit more, but as far as introducing us to this wonderful and ideal concept, I think Nolan and cast did a real good job in pitching us this. The film also was kind of a blend of everything. It was a sci-fi film, it was a suspense film, it was a heist film, it was a thriller film, it was even a noir film. I like there's tidbits of each of those genres playing all throughout this entire movie. It didn't feel like it belonged to one certain genre, and for that, it's a plus. Interesting story, interesting concept, interesting cast, and what could be just as interesting, if not more interesting than that? The ending. Now let's talk about this ending. So Cobb, DiCaprio's character, wakes up back into the plane with the rest of his crew, assuming that they got the job done in planting the idea in Cillian Murphy's head. And just as they arrive in America, in fear that he wasn't going to be able to be allowed on US soil, he is welcomed back thanks to a phone call by Ken Watanabe. He departs from the airport, acknowledging each member of his team as well as Cillian Murphy's character. He spins the top, which is his totem, to make him realize if he's dreaming or not. And just as he's about to find out, he is taken aback by the vision and attention of his children. Warmly hugging him and embracing him and loving him, he focuses away from the top. And slowly the camera pans to the top as it keeps spinning with no end in sight. It stumbles a little, it stumbles more until... what the hell? So, interesting concept with a story to go along with it. The star-studded cast and ensemble they had. The great direction from Nolan in regards to the different action sequences and set pieces he had, whether it be in downtown, I think that was Chicago, as well as being in those snowy mountainous regions, and being in Japan, and being in all these other different exotic settings. Establishing first this story and concept in the first act, executing the game plan in the second act, revelations all throughout the third act. And of course the ambiguous, thrilling, and suspenseful ending are all what make up this grand execution of Christopher Nolan's Inception. Let's go another dream sequence deeper as we go into Act 3. Act 3, Response, Inception, Take 1. Now, just like the other previous films in Christopher Nolan's catalog, the acclaim for this film was astronomical. Worldwide, this film took in over $800 million, the third highest in Christopher Nolan's filmography, just behind The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. At the Academy Awards that year, it got 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Although it didn't win that, it did win 4 other Academy Awards. The film was nominated for numerous amount of awards: BAFTA Awards, Golden Globe Awards, Saturn Awards. Nearly every single critic had this film in their top 10 list. But what ultimately still stands up to this day in regards to the lore of Inception is the ambiguity of the ending. You could take 10 people to watch Inception. 5 people will say that he's still dreaming. The other 5 people will say he's not dreaming. And I think the ambiguity of it is its greatest weapon. There is no set structure for its conclusion. I love that Nolan gives the audience the opportunity to interpret the ending in their own way, shape, or form. He does bring an interesting concept up though. Whenever he sees his kids at the end, he doesn't pay attention to the top. It doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is the fact that he's with his kids. Dreaming or not dreaming, he wants to be with his kids. And after interpreting that, after interpreting other things and other factors that play throughout the film, I believe my own opinion on the ending is he's not dreaming. But what's great is you have your own opinion of the ending. Somewhere around the world, someone's saying, no, that's not the ending. The ending is Thanos snaps his fingers and him and the rest of his team get evaporated. Now, that's a little too far-fetched, but that's great. Ambiguity is key here. And whether it be that, whether it be the great cast that they had, whether it be the concept of dream sharing, or even its iconic that played throughout the film, those are reasons why it maintained a pop culture reference identity in the 2010s. So $800 million in the box office worldwide, 4 Academy Award wins, numerous awards and accolades, including being a part of the yearly top 10s, and of course the different interpretations from other audiences and moviegoers alike of the ending of Inception. All right, no more dreaming. Let's go ahead and go into the verdict of Inception. You can't mention the 2000s without mentioning The Dark Knight, or Finding Nemo, or The Passion of the Christ, or Shrek, or Brokeback Mountain, or Avatar for that matter. And the same goes with Inception. You can't talk about the 2010s without mentioning Inception. Even though it came out early, 2010, it's still talked about a decade later. The story and concept that they laid out was pretty innovative, or something that they never even tried before. Sure, you could look at Nightmare on Elm Street, you could look at Matrix, you could look at other various different films that kind of touched on the realms of dreams. But this one touches the realm of dream sharing and the concept of a heist in which you can steal someone's idea from their dreams, or you can plant an idea in someone else's dream. From that spawned a bunch of pop culture references and a bunch of other movies, television, and other entertainment realms. Once again, the ending has a lot to do with it. Everybody talking about if he's dreaming or not, the top spinning, the room turning 360 degrees, the performances from DiCaprio, from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, from Ellen Page, from Tom Hardy, all splendid. Because of that, there is a true and heavy following of this film and almost near cult-like status, in my opinion, which is why I think it is important that it is one of the more talked about films of this decade. Great direction, great plot, great action sequences, a whole lot of flavors to taste in this. Of course, my biased nature, I'll say that it's 10 out of 10, but being a little bit more unbiased, I'm gonna give Inception a 9.45 out of 10. Now here's a question. Since we are in a dream within a dream within a dream, and everything is kind of compounded, doesn't that mean that 9.45 is technically... So that means this film is technically a 7,974.93650625 out of 10. And there you have it. There goes my little take-in spew on Inception. Once again, this is my favorite film of all time, and so far nothing's really changed that. Until the day we get a film with the Avengers and X-Men fighting side by side, then we're gonna have some competition. But until then, what did you guys think of the movie Inception? Have you gotten a chance to watch it? Did you think the same way I did? Do you think he's not dreaming? Do you think he is dreaming? Do you think this is just a stupid take on dreams and the aspect of dream sharing? Let me know in the comments section below. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that hot stuff. Spread the word about my channel, get the word out there, let them know I'm here on the tube, and from there we can all dream together. So thank you for tuning in for another episode of Eugene Reviews. I am Eugene once again, signing off for another week of this episodic series. Also too, let me know in the comment section below what other movies you would like for me to discuss, other video games too you would like for me to discuss, even more so what other television shows you would like for me to discuss. I have seen The Umbrella Academy, I've seen Stranger Things, and I've seen The Boys, and their new season's coming up Labor Day weekend, so I'm gonna be looking forward to that. Maybe, if I have time, maybe I'll take a look at those and make a review out of it. But who knows? Got a busy schedule coming up, and take it one step at a time. And that is a wrap. All right, everybody, it's time to wake up. Ow. Time to wake up. Ah, damn it. Time to wake up. I couldn't get a slap.